towns come in all shapes and sizes. Some are old, some are rebuilt, some have expanded, and others have shrunk. Sometimes they are wholly abandoned for any number of reasons. For today's list, we'll be looking at 10 of the weirdest towns that are out there. You might even consider adding a few of these stops to your next travel itinerary. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to this channel and enable notifications so you never miss an upload. Number 10. Roswell, New Mexico. Storefronts and cafes adorned with neon green aliens are the monikers of this city. The first odd town on our list started when military forces recovered a high-altitude balloon in 1947 near Roswell, New Mexico. This quickly became the center of a conspiracy theory involving aliens and UFOs. One of the most acclaimed museums within city limits is the UFO Museum and Research Center, a strange museum that only gets away with its eccentricities because it is located in Roswell. It's also home to the only space or UFO-themed McDonald's globally. Hard to imagine another scenario where such a theme fits in seamlessly with the surroundings. Number 9. Colma, California. Colma is probably one of the few cities where the dead outnumber the living residents. When San Franciscan developers were also eyeing burial grounds, the land that cemeteries occupied became increasingly valuable to the city. It's now a tourist attraction for those looking for a point of interest that lives a little ways off the beaten path. It might be surprising that people can happily call this necropolis home, but many people feel pride living here, lovingly referring to the cemeteries as memorial parks. Additionally, an influx of deceased customers arrived in the wake of the 1906 earthquake. Even some of the already buried San Franciscans would be exhumed and sent to Colma to be reburied. Number 8. Centralia, Pennsylvania. Considered a toxic ghost town, Centralia doesn't offer much to do, but it brings in tourists all the same. This ghost town was created in the wake of an underground coal mine fire that has burned continuously since 1962. Only a few people live in the town, and a few derelict buildings have been reclaimed by nature. An abandoned section of the highway has since been dubbed Graffiti Highway and has been spray painted by hundreds of visitors. Number 7. Thames Town, China. In Thames Town, you find yourself not far from Shanghai, but in the shadow of a row of Tudor homes, a telltale sign of England. Thames Town is a relic from an initiative in 2001 to move millions from Shanghai to 9 international suburbs. The developers were well aware that the whole thing could read as a joke if built in the wrong way, but were confident. The houses are still out of reach for most, but not for lack of interest. China's home price to income ratio is between 28.57 and 34.38, numbers far higher than other populated cities like London and Paris. Prices make these English-style homes out of reach for all but the uber wealthy. Number 6. Elista, Russia. It might surprise you to learn that Elista, Russia is home to the largest Buddhist community in Europe. About 150,000 devout followers live in the city. The city's centerpiece is the Buddha Shakyamuni, which is easily visible on the skyline, offering a way for people to orient themselves. The building opened its doors to followers after receiving the blessing of the 14th Dalai Lama in 2004. While the Buddhist community is a great reason to visit Elista, it isn't the reason it makes this list. Instead, it's the chess city you want to see. A millionaire and former president of the Republic of Kalmykia, of which Elista is the capital, had some oddities about him. He claimed that in the 1990s he was abducted by aliens. They assigned him a strange mission to bring chess to his city. He built it and they came. He completed Chess City in 1998 and has hosted world-class chess matches, has a museum, and is essentially a playground for all things chess. Number 5. Whittier, Alaska. Whittier is a city of dichotomies. It started as a military supply port in defensive position against the Japanese invasion during World War II. At its peak, the town boasted a population of about 1,200. Once the military left after 1960, the town was left devoid of life. Only the hardiest citizens stayed behind, and today, less than 300 people call this place home. These few folks support the Alaskan Railroad, State Ferry, the Whittier Harbor, recreation, and tourism. During the short but beautiful summer months, Whittier sees more than 700,000 visitors each year. 3 large ice fields feed the glaciers around Whittier, and the main attraction in the town is its glacier day cruises. These alone see 55,000 visitors each year. Number 4. The Yellow Fleet. In 1967, the Suez Canal was closed for business. The reason? A 6-day war between Egypt and Israel. As Israel made quick progress towards the Suez Canal, Egypt wanted to either protect the valuable location or make it so that no one could use it. They opted for the latter. The Suez Canal was vital for Egypt as it allowed them to control nearly all shipping between Europe and Asia. 15 ships were caught in the crossfire, becoming trapped in the canal when it closed. The vessels sat in the middle of a heated battle for months, unable to move or get off the ships. The ship's officers created the Great Bitter Lake Association, and they were able to hold soccer matches, church services, movie nights, and pool parties between the boats. They even had their own version of the Olympics the following year, representing the 8 nations trapped in the area. Over time, desert dust covered the ships, and they developed a yellow hue, which is how they were named the Yellow Fleet. When one of the German ships finally made it home, the voyage had lasted 8 years, 3 months, and 5 days. Number 3. Dwarf Village, China. One village that has a very polarizing livelihood is Dwarf Village, also known as the Kingdom of the Little People. The village is technically a theme park, open and staffed exclusively by those who are under 4 feet 3 inches tall. Nearly all these performers have congenital conditions that cause dwarfism. Some feel it is inappropriate to showcase these conditions in a humorous light, likening it to a zoo. But others, including the performers themselves, see the kingdom as a sanctuary and a place where some of these folks can find work where they might turn up empty-handed elsewhere. Number 2. Coober, Pedy, Australia. This Australian town is located in one of Australia's hottest and most inhospitable climates. There are no trees to be found and vegetation is scarce. It's no surprise when summer temperatures routinely reach 116 degrees Fahrenheit. This town is so hot that many inhabitants live underground to find protection. Everything from houses, cafes, churches, bookstores, and even hotels are underground. You can even camp underground in Coober, Pedy. And if these odd features aren't enough to spark your interest, maybe the opals will be. It used to be the largest producer of opals in the world. The Umuna Opal Mine and Museum are significant areas to see a mine display and learn about the process of mining these precious stones. Number 1. Miyake-Jima, Japan. Location, location, location. The island of Miyake-Jima offers a warm climate, lush environments, and plenty of water sports. But there is a pretty big catch. The island is a large stratovolcano, and an active one at that. It has erupted 13 times in the last 500 years, with the most recent eruptions taking place in 1940, 1962, 1983, and 2000. The lava flow produced by the 1940 eruption killed 11 people. Since the 2000 eruption, there has been a steady stream of sulfur dioxide gas oozing from the volcano. After the 2000 eruption, the island was fully evacuated for 5 years. The first group of residents was able to return in 2005. For a time, residents were required to carry gas masks with them as a result. They are no longer needed, but an alarm system on the island will blare out a warning if there is a dramatic increase in toxic gases. That's it for our list today. Hope you enjoyed it. What strange town are you most interested in visiting? Have you ever been to a haunted town or building? What was it like? Let us know in the comments down below. Please make sure to like the video if you are entertained, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.